Good morning, FlossTube. It's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is Wednesday, the 25th of March, and I am back for my Chart of the Day video number 3. I want to thank everyone for watching yesterday's video and answering my question. I enjoyed reading all your answers, and I will get back to responding here shortly. But it was a fun trip down memory lane, I thought, and a lot of you played with Barbies and paper dolls. A lot of you had other things that were your favorites. So it was fun to think back on those more simpler times. Simple. Anyway, I feel sad that kids these days don't know how to play that way, for the most part. Some of them do, but for the most part, they're not interested in the kind of things that we played with when we were kids. And I remember spending hours at night playing hide and seek with the neighborhood kids, and we ran through everybody's yard and hid in everybody's yard, and nobody came out and yelled at us for doing it or stepping on their lawn or hiding behind their bushes. And we'd play until our porch lights came on, and that was the signal that it was time to come home. I can't even imagine kids doing that these days. Number one, everyone has a fence in their yard. Number two, people don't like people in their yards, whether they're kids or not. And number three, it's just not safe for kids, which is sad. It's very, very sad. So, things are going okay here. Last night I saw on the news that they shut down tattoo parlors. So I won't have any neighbors on the one side for a while. I think the vet and I are the only ones that are still open in this strip mall. I think everyone else has had to shut down. Which is sad. I feel horrible for those people who have to stay home and not, their employees have to stay home. They're not bringing home a paycheck. I just don't know how they're going to pay their bills. So I'm praying hard for everyone. I don't believe the president when he says this is all going to be over in 9 days. I'm very, very doubtful on that one. And even though I am pressing forward and pretending that retreat is going to happen, I think deep down in my little soul, I don't technically think it will. But my fingers are still crossed. So hopefully things will turn around. I think there's more traffic on the street the last 2 days than there was last week. And I'm a little concerned that people are not sheltering in place like they're supposed to be. We're not on a complete lockdown, but I know a lot of people were just staying home because they were afraid to go out. And I think maybe that fear is somehow they've either learned to live with that fear, or they have to go out because they're out of groceries or something. But there seems to be more traffic on the streets the last 2 days than there has been. So, let's get started. Today, I have chosen another sampler. This time it's from the Fox and Rabbit Designs, which before things got really, really bad, Paulette Stewart from Plum Street Samplers contacted me and asked if she could bring Brendan and Karen from Fox and Rabbit and Blackberry Rabbit to the shop. She wanted to show them her local shop, and they were coming through town on their way to, I think it was Texas, before flying home to Australia. So they were in my shop early last week. I think it was, early last week. It was nice to see them again. I had met them at Market last year, and I spoke to them briefly again this year. But it was nice to see them and have them see the shop. So today I have chosen a fox and rabbit design called Charlotte Mills, 1844. Isn't that stunning? The colors in this are amazing. There are, you know, that shit ton I referred to yesterday? Well, look at that. The only thing I can say about that is at least they're DMC. So, but there are a ton of them, and they're stunning colors, and it just kind of blows my mind that I just can't imagine, you know, the things I design for retreat have maybe 5. I can't imagine designing something that would require this many colors. I just, that takes artistry that I do not have. So, those are the colors. They're all DMC. It calls for picture this plus ale, and I do think you need a fairly dark fabric to pull off the colors. So this is ale. I don't have a lot of ale in the shop at the moment. Isn't that pretty? So I went fabric diving and picked out a few others. This is 32 count Cocoa from Weeks Dye Works. It's pretty much the same color as the ale, just doesn't have the movement that ale has. So that would work also. Should you have ale in or cocoa in any count, you could use that. I went with Woodland Brown. Is kind of a greeny brown color, but again, it's a dark saturated color, and I think it would look fine. Again, I don't have a lot of it. Fabric is getting kind of scarce in my shop. People, don't take this the wrong way, because I appreciate any and all orders that I'm getting, but it seems to be predominantly orders for fabric, and it's going out faster than I can get it in. So, but I do appreciate it. And then the last color I chose was 18th Century Brook, yeah, from R&R, and it's a darker shade of the woodland. I would call it a darker shade, so it's still kind of got a greenish, brownish tone to it, but I think all the colors will show on that also. And the mailman's going to come in, so I'm going to pause this for just a second. Okay, I'm back. We were discussing the fact that Omaha shut down the tattoo parlors yesterday, so my neighbors will not be there for a while. Okay, I'd showed you the colors, I'd showed you the fabric. I was just going to point out a few things on why I like this chart. Number 1 was the colors. The colors are amazing. Number 2 is you could take this and make a little pin cushion out of it, because those would be gorgeous. You could do a little fob with the birds or the butterfly. Look at those, the church. This border is kind of interesting. I see different things in it every time I look at it. But for instance, let me get this so there's no glare right there. I see an ostrich head there. See? Ostrich head right there. There's his face. Right here I kind of see an owl. Like one of those ones with the white faces. And in one place, right here, I kind of see a clown face. Do you see it? I'm pretty sure you can see it. Which leads me to my question for today. Are you afraid of clowns? I am not particularly afraid of clowns. Maybe I would be if I ever watched one of those horror shows that had a clown in it, but I don't watch horror shows because I do get scared. So in person, I am not particularly afraid of clowns. There was always a clown in the parade every summer when we'd go up to the Sandhills for the 4th of July. There was a parade, and there was this clown, and she was older than dirt when I was little, and she was still walking the parade route when my kids were little. So I think she probably lived to be like 100,000 years old. But she always had a cigarette hanging out the corner of her mouth, and we always made fun of the smoking clown. So I've never been afraid of them, but I know that is a fear a lot of people have. So my question is, do you have that fear? And why? Is it something that you watched a scary show? Why are you afraid of clowns if you are? So I think that's all I have for today. I hope everyone is doing well and keeping busy and praying hard. And I guess you guys take care until tomorrow. Bye-bye.